Man, what's up with it? I'm Polo, a World War Polo entertainment group, and y'all tuned into Smack Life TV. Tap in or tap out.
Smack life with the trees, living like a layman.
I bet we back with another one. Back like we never left. We got the author, the writer, the producer, the director, the screenwriter, boss man, all of the above. We got World War Polo in the building. What it do, G?
Man, cooling like a fan, looking for some AC.
Yeah. Nah, that's alright, man. How you feeling?
Man, working hard, struggling, striving, prayed up real heavy, focused, excited. As long as it's positive, that's what I'm feeling.
Got to. New Balance Boyz on the way. I see you New Balance down.
Man, for life, you hear me?
Yeah, now I'll talk about it real quick. So what's your time with New Balance?
New Balance, for me, is big for the culture. I don't even think that in the beginning a lot of us kind of even understood what it was going to mean to us in the future with certain things and that we gravitate too far as our culture and things of that nature. But New Balance then stood the test of time. New Balance then actually gave credit to DC for being the flag bearer of keeping their brand and making their brand popular. I remember it was a time where they was called old man shoes and things of that nature. Now some of the biggest hip hop players, hip hop rappers, basketball players, everybody is tuned in and tapped in. I think that before it get out of hand, that we need to step up and claim our throne with that. You feel me? That's that's us.
Nah, no question. Yeah, I think that old man shoe that came from, like, I want to say New York, cause I used to be around New York, and every time people put on New Balance, they like, bro, what y'all wearing them old man shoes for type stuff. So
what happened to New Balance been out for a long time. It's actually an American shoe made in America, right? But before the 990s came out, they kind of did look kind of daddish. So that's, what a lot of people would linger to that feel of that particular shoe, or them particular numbers or whatever, the lower numbers. So
the fives and yeah.
Cause like in the beginning, New Balance, the price of the shoe actually cost whatever the number was on the shoe. So like you don't really hear a lot of original like DC natives talking about the lower numbers, like the 574s and the whatever the numbers is, the lower. It was actually the very first tennis shoe that was $100 ever, right? And the 990s, I think it was an 82. 990s, 99, 100, 574s was like $57, the 1300s was $130, the 1500s was $150. Even coming around to the 2000s, they was the $200 tennis shoe, right? Inflation and made things, but at first the number was, you had to have certain numbers and better to be validated, with the New Balance thing. And only people from this area, I think, really would grasp it at, because we've been doing it the longest.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna recap. We already been here before, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna, when did you actually start like producing films and all that? 2017.
My first movie was Yamakiyama. It's about the world ending, and it, it's a lot of, I'm a Muslim, so it has like a lot of like signs and of the times of the end, and it's for real the most groundbreaking film that has never been watched that we done, because we filmed it, and when we went to edit it, the computer crashed.
Damn. So
and
everything got wiped?
Everything was wiped out, and I remember my cameraman, shout out One Up Entertainment, shout out Marco the Great.
Yeah.
Right? I think he was nervous about telling me that the a movie had crashed or whatever on a computer, and I'm a little older than my peers at this point in time in my life. So when he was telling me, I'm like, crash, like, what does that mean? Like, crash, like, you know, is that something fly, something dope? He's like, no, crash, like, how you understand it, bad, right? And so I'm like, you know, I'm a problem solver. I don't really get caught in my mindset of negativity. Like, I see the problem, it's time to fix it. So he's like, what you want to do? And I was like, there ain't nothing else to do. We gotta film it again. Like, it ain't nothing to talk about. And I think it was that conversation that really actually sparked World War Polo Entertainment Group to what it is today, because the people around me understand that under no circumstances is we gonna quit, and under no circumstances is failure an option. You know, the movie could crash and burn. Guess what's gonna happen? We gonna do it again, and we all know that. So I think getting behind somebody that you know is going to, you know, be relentless in the approach of how they approach things just makes it a little bit more easier to just know, like, man, we gotta do this, we gotta do it right, it gotta be the super, you know what I'm saying? And we done been walking down this road now for a good little minute, and we've been putting some work in, putting the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia on the map.
Not for real.
Real tough.
Alright, so from the first project, after that, was the Kingz of DC?
Kingz of DC.
Man, that's a groundbreaking jump too.
Man,
like,
that
I
joint.
talk about that jump.
So Kingz of DC, everything has like this behind the scenes story that's just so phenomenal to me, at least to me, right? So Kingz of DC it was named Kingz of DC first and foremost because I like this movie called Kings of New York back in the day, right? So I'm like, yeah, I think so.
Frank White.
Fact.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm like, we need a Kingz of DC, right? And the best way that I could do it is, you know, social media was really popping. It was right before the pandemic, for real. We was coming into the pandemic. No Diddy. I started No Diddy. And walking into Kingz of DC, I was like, I want all the kings in DC to be part of this movie. So it meant something bigger. So like everybody that was in the movie, if you go back to Kingz of DC and now you look and see where they at now, you could see like the progression. Like they was rapping real good. They was, whatever their craft was, singing that, whatever their craft was, and we put it in the movie, and we highlighted their talent. So like when this particular rapper is on his scene, then we got his music playing, because it's like I want to shine light on the DMV. It's about us. It ain't never been about me. It's never going to be about me. It's always about us, right? And trying to use whatever platform that God allowed me to have, whether it's social media or it's just me walking down the street, just to help any and everybody that I can. So Kingz of DC derived from like all the kings coming together, and we was repping, you know, life as how I know it. And it, you know, it's a wild movie. It's a wild movie, and you can get caught up in the hype, but then you can also take a step back and you can look at, you know, what the movie is about. And the movie is heavily about change. It promotes like reading books. It promotes a lot of positivity inside of the storm. Right. So yeah, it's still doing like groundbreaking numbers on Tubi and Apple TV and things like that. So the world.
When you first dropped the jump on YouTube, that jump did 1 million in like.
It did 1 million views.
And it wasn't even that long, so I'm like, yeah, this jump with that.
You know, and on for YouTube is like, you know, for you to get 1 million views on a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, that's the whole. That
the movie,
real feature length film.
A feature film, 200. I mean, it's 2 hours long, and for it to do 1 million views, there's people that got 2-minute videos that can't get 1,000 views. So to me, that's just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. Shout out to everybody that was part of Kingz of DC.
Yeah.
Real talk.
What was that process like? Because you had people from different sides of the city that may have been bumping heads, but they still got in the movie.
And so I get a lot of credit that is really undeserved with that. I have no real problem with always trying to tell the truth as much as I can anyway, right?
Yeah.
So putting all the kings together in a movie, it has politics that goes, with it. The streets, it's politics.
Right.
Because I'm at a certain age, I remember like certain neighborhoods that didn't get along with certain neighborhoods, but things have changed since then.
Right.
So the politics is different. You might have 5 different neighborhoods that's linking with them, and then 5 over here. I don't know all that.
Yeah.
Right? Only thing I know is it's a lot of murdering and killing and stuff like that's going on. So to protect the people that was in the movie, I might get this group, and then they'll film their scene, and even if they interacting with them, they'll never meet them. And then I film like that, and then in the editing I put it together so it seemed like they was all together. Because the one of the biggest things that I wanted to do is DC or the DMV, however you need to word it, it has like a stench that we are not credible to work with, and we'll backdoor you and this, that, and the other. So I felt like if I could show all of us working together, and some of us actually have gripes against each other, right? If I could show that how we actually do work together, then other people from other places wouldn't mind working with us. So it can open up the door to like people wanting to come do business in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. Alright, so Kingz of DC, y'all catered soundtrack to that jump specifically?
We didn't. The soundtrack would have been the dopest thing ever, because like I said, we was using everybody's music that was actually in it, the movie, and we was playing it over top of whatever scene it was.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is our second movie. The first movie crashed, so we walking into the second movie tiptoeing, but we know we got one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Instagram and social media, all social media, they giving good rapport of like, yeah, I can't wait for that joint to drop.
I was one of them.
You feel what I'm saying? So it kept us wanting to push to do it, but it just was like, I don't know. It just was like, it was just a different time. You feel me? Things was, yeah.
Alright, so Kingz of DC, that junk done in the books. Then you go to the lot.
The lot.
Okay. Alright, so the lot, polar opposite from Kingz of DC. Like Kingz of DC probably had some funny moments, but
right.
The lot's a comedy movie.
Right.
So like, how that come into play, and how you go from one extreme to the other.
Once I developed the format or recipe, right? I just felt like I could just do it over and over and over, just mix it up. So in Kingz of DC, basically I used all the rappers from this area. But at that time, the comedy scene is going crazy on social media, and I'm like literally becoming a fan to a lot of the comedians, whereas though when I meet them in real life, like I'm like starstruck.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm like, I know you just such and such, or you just such and such, but to me, man, you him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like I wake up in the morning to, however you feeling, you gonna brighten my day, your jokes, you know what I'm saying, periodically throughout the day. So I felt it's like, let me do the same thing for the comedians that I did for the rappers.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me, like, basically a lot of the people that I follow on social media that helped me get through my day, I reached out to them, bing, and And there was a lot of people too that I didn't know, because like comedians, they like actually support each other. It's like a whole different kind of system with them. Like they actually really be cool with each other for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And they don't mind working with each other. And then this is such a fun environment or whatever. So when the casting call came, and you know, when I'm sitting there paying attention to, it's like everybody already kind of know everybody for real. So I was like, you know what? This is a casting call and everything, but everybody that came, everybody that's here, I'm gonna put them in the movie. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, cause this is about us trying to get there together, right? And so as I progress and I grow, I won't be able to do that, but with the time that was allotted to me and the space that I was in, it just was like the most perfect thing to do it. And it sealed some bonds with even some of the actors. You'll still see, you know, right now that, you know what I mean, we just locked in, you know. So it was dope. It was super dope. And then it was like, it was written, but it's so many phenomenal comedians who tell jokes or they express funny in a different kind of way. I didn't want to interrupt that, so we just end up creating topics and letting them improv, so that you can see their particular funny. So it's so many different aspects of funny in it. It's almost impossible, like, unless you one of the most depressed people on this earth, not to laugh at that movie. That movie is fun. That joint funny down. I ain't gonna hold you.
And the premiere, we won't get to the premieres, but the premiere for the Kingz of DC premiere was like that. Then you seen the lap premiere was a step above that.
Facts.
Alright. Then you got the kickback.
The kickback was crazy.
And so the kickback to me is
shout
like
out to Goofy. Shout out to Lean too.
Yeah. Well, that joint more like the movie house party type.
It has a DMV house party feel.
Okay. And how that come about? Cause that's another. Well, of course, Goofy's is a comedian. And he came up with that concept.
Yeah, he actually wrote the movie. So, what I did with the lap, it was a lot of comedians. But the bigger name, more out there comedians, a lot of them didn't show up at the casting call. And I'm like, I need to, you know, I want to support everybody. These are up and coming comedians. But I also want the comedians that everybody already paying attention to.
Yeah, so they could have that focus on the movie.
Facts. It helps the movie, and then it allows that, you know, the comedians that's coming up to learn from the comedians. It's like this a big help environment, you know what I'm saying? At least in my mind, that's what I think I'm doing. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to figure out like how I'm gonna get all these, you know, more influencers as far as comedians in the movie. And then I seen that they was doing a show, and it's like it was Pat was there, Goofy was there. Man, everybody, it was one of them. You know, Pap here in Cali, so he here. It's like, you feel what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, so I got all of them in one spot, so I'm gonna pull up. So I pull up to the joint, whatever. A lot of love in a bit. I ain't like Kingz of DC kind of opened some doors to people like knowing who I am and kind of like, you know, showing love. So I get to we still talking about the lap, right? So I get
the lap
so I go get the comedians. I'm sitting there, and my thing was, I'm not really here to enjoy myself. This is
you on your Ice Cube.
Big shouts out to Ice Cube. This work related. So I'm saying it's not my job to really sit here and enjoy myself. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna try not to laugh. I'm gonna give my best effort to not laugh, like, cause this is business. I want to know who really funny. I got a wild sense of humor, so I should be laughing, but it's not gonna be my job to make me laugh. So I'm in there, and they was killing it. But I got to Goofy. Goofy, I think he was the one that was the big person for that night or whatever. So we in there and we just, and it's like, I don't know, you know, I heard of them, I seen them, but I ain't like the biggest fan of them because I don't really know him. Like, I know a lot of them, but I haven't really been exposed to him, right? So, and I just remember sitting there not laughing, and he just started spanking me, no diddy, right? He just started saying, he came all the way right here to pay this money and everything, not to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, that he put me on the spot, but I was like, that was funny how he did it, how he said it, because I'm like, that really was what I was doing. It's like, did somebody tell him? You know what I'm saying? And then he just started going off and everything, and then at the end of the joint, I just went and asked everybody, you know, I'm doing this movie, this, that, and the other, and they had kind of already knew who I was, because Kingz of DC, and you know, really it's still taking off at that point, and then boom. So now I got the relationship with Goofy through the lot. So the lot, Goofy comes to the premiere. The premiere was dope, and I think that the premiere would open his eyes to the bigger picture of how I'm moving. Like, just not just some YouTube stuff. Like, I'm putting it on a big screen. I'm trying to use every resource I got because, you know, I feel like if you in the movie, right? You got kids, you got nephews, you got children, all that's gonna be there. I want them to, on the same screen that they see Superman and Batman on, right? I want them to look at their father, their mother, their sister, their brother, their aunt, their friend, whoever they is, and be like, dang.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because kids' imagination is so strong, so it's important to me to give the whole experience or whatever, right?
Of course.
I think Goofy synced that, and his business sense is just always on point. He has a very high etiquette in business. So when we sat and talked, and I was telling him, you know, I want to work together, and then boom, we really, you know, he took out the time. He's like, all right, I'm gonna write this movie, boo, boo, boo. So he said, yeah, I'm gonna start today. It was probably like 2 or 3 weeks. He called me. I'm like, so what you doing? How you looking at the movie? He's like, oh, that joint done.
Cold.
I said done, like, what you mean done? Like, it's done. I'm ready to start filming. I'm like, you ready to start filming?
That's crazy.
So boom, he's so into his craft. I kind of took the back seat and just allowed him to work. I learned a lot from him and the experience of working with him because he has a lot of business experience as far as and show business and the ethics of how we work and everything like that. And I'm not like one of them dudes that act like they know everything. So I literally sat back and just watched and was allowed to take credit.
I see what you're saying.
Real talk, he man Goofy to go. And so that's how the kickback came.
You in a positive filming now, but it wasn't a movie or any short series between the kickback and what you doing now, right? The new Balance?
Nah, every year we dropping something. So like we've been dropping something. Before Kingz of DC, because we had a wild experience with Yamakiyama. I did a web series called Washington Bullet, and I don't want to speak a lot about that. It's a good story. It's something nice to watch. But it has a lot of editing flaws in it. But it was those editing flaws that allowed the confidence for Kingz of DC. So without Washington Bullet, Kingz of DC would have still got made, but it probably, I don't really know. I did learn a lot from the web series, but outside of that, I haven't done like anything in between of dropping movies. Like every year since Kingz of DC, I've been dropping movies.
Yeah.
Like I've been my God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he definitely allowed me to be real consistent.
Very much so. So all right, now we working on New Balance Boyz. Like, what's that experience like, and how you come up with that?
Alright, so the New Balance Boyz is a movie about our culture more than, it's like culture related, but it ain't actually about tennis shoes.
I see what you're saying.
It's
like
just
the uniform.
It's just
what
like
y'all doing in y'all uniform.
Right, facts. The movie is a movie. That's a movie. That's a nice movie. And just so happened they in a place where New Balance clothes and shoes is popular. So through things and stuff that take place in the movie, they get acknowledged from people from the outside as that's the New Balance crew.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
You
That's
feel
how
me?
group
Like
used to get their name anyway.
Facts, like the people in the movie, or they don't really realize they the New Balance Boys. They just waking up every day, getting fresh and doing what they doing.
Yeah.
It's the people on the outside looking in that kind of give them that title like that.
Nah, that's tough. Alright, so what would you say is a major difference between Kingz of DC and New Balance Boyz?
I'm gonna keep it real. Kingz of DC does like almost 400,000 streams a month on big platforms a piece. I'm really looking at myself as the competition to me. I don't get into with other people, so I'm trying to dunk on that joint. Like I feel like it. I didn't want to bring out a Kingz of DC 2 because Kingz of DC is a classic in its own right. There's no sense in me taking the time out to do, because it only could either outdo Kingz of DC, which will dumb down the classic and make it less of what it done, or it won't meet up to the criteria, and then it becomes a waste of time, and it brings down the value of the first movie because the second movie. So it's like Kingz of DC talks about one aspect of this area, a lot of killing. Right? New Balance Boyz talks about another aspect of the crime here, and that's robbing.
Okay.
So if I want to say what's the difference in the two, like Kingz of DC was a killing movie that a few robberies took place. But this might be like a movie that's a robbing movie where a couple of killings take place. Like it's like double dutch. You know what I'm saying? So
it ain't opposite, but it's opposite of the action.
It's like equal opposites. Yin and a yang to the crime organization.
What got you into making movies?
So what got me into making movies, I actually wanted to write books. That's what I wanted to do. I got to a point where I want to write books because I want to share the little knowledge that Allah allowed me to have with people who of a younger descent who could probably use the little knowledge that I had. But sitting back, and I started writing, right? I started writing Kingz of DC before Yama Kiyama.
Okay.
And I had it already done in my head, but I didn't want my first movie to be of that nature and violence. So I went and did a movie that could start me out, like, you know, spirituality and this and that and the other, like, so that I can always go back to, nobody can say that I started out, no, I started with this, so when I come back to this, don't act like this is where I started out, right? But nobody read books.
That's a fact.
Right? So
nigga congratulated me one time because he seen me reading. I swear to God.
I believe that.
I was like, bro.
I believe that. I honestly believe that. And for me to reach people, and I especially at that point in time, I was reading a whole lot. So I felt like I would just read, and based on my interpretation of what I understand, I would make a movie because it would be more easy for somebody to sit there and watch than to take the time out in their real life and read word for word, chapter for chapter. So that's why also Kingz of DC so long. No Diddy.
Nah, we about to get to that too. Hold on.
For real. She said it was two people that went and tried to copyright, because he did it first. He copywritten it first. Then I went and copywritten it like the next day. But I wasn't going to tell nobody I did it because I didn't want to get embarrassed. I'm keeping real in case it don't work. But if it do work, then I got the smoking gun, right? So just people around me might know. So boom, the lady said it's two people that try to copyright or trademark the terminology No Diddy, and she said neither one of them is going to be able to get it because in order to use somebody's real name in a slogan, you actually have to have their permission. So then I went and did a post. I was like, well, I guess that's all, folks. Like, neither one of us gonna get it. And I said the crazy thing about it is that was your come up, No Diddy, right? But we just flow with this kind of stuff all the time. We did this natural. Like I come, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's how that started. You know what I mean? You know, he has a bigger name and he was on a bigger platform. So when you heard him say it, it just seemed like, you know, he gets the credit. And it's cool because, you know, we all know what we know. You know what I'm saying? I produce and direct movies, so we all got our little lane. You feel me?
For real, yeah. How you link up with One Up Entertainment?
Alright, so I got the concept. I want to do a movie, and I don't really feel like it's that hard in my mind. I just don't see that it's that hard. So I wrote it, and I'm looking for a cameraman, and I'm going to, I'm not gonna say people's names, but I went to like some of the bigger name cameramans in the area and asked them, you know, how much they gonna charge me to film the movie. And instead of seeing a big picture and kind of, I know, make some money, but make it a little easier, they was giving me movie prices like
they about to shoot in Hollywood.
Like they shot a movie before. You never even shot one the first time. You feel what I'm saying?
Like the music videos are different from a whole.
A music video, 3 minutes. You gotta edit a 2-hour movie, bro.
Multiple days, multiple locations, multiple people,
and tie it all in. Conversations, jump the conversations back and forth, some flashbacks, all kinds of. Y'all take a week, 2-3 weeks to do a 2-minute video. Like, how long is it gonna take to do a 2-hour? So they kept giving me the runs arounds and the whole time, One Up, Margo the Great, he was just sitting beside me the whole time. I never knew he was a cameraman the whole time. So I'm sitting there talking about the movie. He was like, and he talking, and then he was like, he's about to shoot a video for somebody. I was like, you shoot videos?
Type stuff, yeah.
Like, you got a camera? What kind of camera you got? He told me what kind of camera. It was like, I don't even know why I asked, because I don't even know none of that. It's just, and then I was like, you trying to do a movie? And he was like, all right, well, bang. So then that's how that started, and then we never looked back. And it's One Up for life. You feel me? Like, it don't matter what them contracts look like. If One Up ain't part of it, I don't want to be part of it like that. So it's deeper than rap. And shout out to Hustle 5 Ways.
Just about to get into it. Alright, so Hustle 5 Ways, they more like the sound behind everything. And
alright, so what happened was we filmed the first movie, editing flaws, and then then I did the Washington Bullet with this other guy.
Yeah.
Right, I don't want to get too far on that. And then we started Kingz of DC. Towards the end of Kingz of DC and the editing part, we was noticing it had some sound difficulties, but it was just a little bit too much to fix. So I had reached out to Hustle 5 Ways, because they like right there. We like right there in the same vicinity, basically. I own a business right beside their business, right? So they cleaned up the sound for me, and it was a little bit more than what they could do, because but it gave me the understanding of going into the next process. I'm going to have sound from the beginning, and so from that moment, Hustle 5 Ways was born in my life. You feel me? And we've been locked in, and when it comes to sound and things of that nature, if it ain't Hustle 5 Ways, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah. You got any future stuff that you can talk about, like any projects you working on, or?
Yeah, man, I got big work on the way. So soon as we finish new Balance Boyz, which is gonna be phenomenal. Shout out Rick Ross.
Which one?
The Heavyset one. I got both their numbers in my phone.
That's alright.
Like real time, they real numbers.
You might be able to send them down for a little.
Nah, I don't want to do it. Sometimes you gotta stay out of stuff, but
for real.
And God is so merciful. So this next project that I'm working on is a sitcom. It's gonna be 8 episodes. 8 episodes with a pilot. It's gonna be a sitcom, like kind of similar to will kind of paying homage or similar to In Living Color, but it's gonna be a DMV version of In Living Color. Not really meaning that it's only gonna have DMV comedians,
But it's gonna be the
but
flavor of the
it's gonna be DMV flavors, like our style, because it's like other people come to DC, so for different reasons, or Maryland, Virginia, and maybe their interpretation of the flavor that goes on here, but it was still gonna be fundamental DMV, even if the comedians is from Chicago or Cali or something. This is what we're doing. So Motown, it's gonna be called Motown, like a play on word, because we call each other Mo.
Yeah.
So it's gonna, because this Motown, right? So it's gonna be super dope. I think the comedians gonna love it. It's gonna be kind of like a skit show, like 11 Color or Saturday Night Live type of, and it's gonna be dope. We also gonna play the pilot in the movie theater. So the pilot might be about an hour, 20 minutes long, and each episode is gonna be about 30 minutes long. So the pilot's gonna show all the different aspects of every, we might have like 20 different skits.
Right. And
this is how I work, this how I work. Yeah. And then each show we might only have 6 skits. And then like these are 6 episodes. And then the next episode might have different skits based on this list right here. We might, and then we're gonna kind of pay homage to 11 Color by how they formatted it. So we're gonna have like at the halftime of it, we'll probably have like niggas bid. So they might be joning like a whole bid session. And right before that we'll have like, they had the dance girls or the fly girls. We might have the DC steppers on some, I don't know what we're gonna call them, but the dancing thing. And then at the end we'll have like a live performance of, maybe we might go around somebody's neighborhood. However, I don't know how, and I don't want to get too much away too quick, but it'll be like live performance so that we can also, we're building up the community. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so, like if you rap, you dance, you're an artist, you're a comedian, you're poetic. This is almost like the Apollo without the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I feel like, we just try to get back to the community by putting our people on. I'm a little biased because I feel like with the energy and the platform that God allowed me to have, that it's my job to put us on instead of just the work. And then it'll eventually get to the point, hopefully, where I'll be able to work with outside people as comfortably. But right now, it's just more important for my J2 funnies and my and DJ got jokes, and even Fat Marco and Goofy and Church. It's more important that they get on than maybe Skin Bone or one of the guys that's from another. And shout out to the Chicago comedians, but I gotta work with my people. You feel me?
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So yeah, I got Motown coming up, and then I got a love story called Black Honey, because I think it's important that we start to propagate and put love back into the community. So I'm writing a movie that's it's a gangster joint, but it's a love joint. It's a super love joint. I want to make all the thugs cry in this movie. And then I got the Marion Barry biopic.
What thug movie made you cry?
Made me feel emotional.
We can say that.
Love and Basketball.
Okay.
It wasn't really a thug movie.
Nah, I feel you though. I feel you.
But it was a black movie that I could
you could relate.
I could relate to it because during that period of time, I was playing basketball a little bit, and it was about young black love, right? So we living in a time now that everybody is super thug. So talking about basketball, half the brothers out here don't even play sports and ain't never played organized sports. So to do a movie like that, it's gonna miss its mark. Women might take to it, but the young dudes, they not trying. So I want to do a super gangster young movie, a super gangster movie, a super young, super gangster. But I want to incorporate love, because I want to show that in our community, the power of love and the power of change and what love can do and how it should make you feel, and it's nothing wrong with loving a woman openly and publicly. There's nothing wrong with showing a woman respect openly and publicly. And so I wanna show the young black male in the way that I feel like I can do it, and that's through these movies, because they don't read books, so the movie gonna make the thug cry.
Okay.
And last but not least, right now on the table is the Murray biopic. I don't care who tells the Murray story. If it's not a person from here, it's not gonna be told correctly. Like you speaking about what you saying from looking on the outside. From on the outside in, where we really came up under them summer jobs, and them summer jobs was important, and he was a real person that lived in the community that he was governing, and we all loved him. And I think that we need to protect our leaders and archive our leaders. So while I'm giving this position for the time being, I want to definitely put him on the Mount Rushmore of leaders from our community.
No question, like Marion Barry, different. Like I ain't grow up with Marion Barry, my folks did. So it was like, man, I remember driving through the South Side. My father used to be like, yeah, Marion Barry used to live right there. I don't know what road it is.
It's right there off of Alabama Avenue. Yeah, and you make the right. It's the corner house.
Yeah, you hip. So like that, man. We used to have summer jobs. He used
Yeah.
So it's like just secondhand hearing, like he was on that, and then he got this little whatever, and they still voted him back.
Facts, and I think that the twist of this movie is gonna really hurt the souls of the people that don't look like us, of a different pigmentation.
Yeah.
So, like I'm into my version of what I seen Spike Lee and Ty Perry doing. I'm the new blood in this game, and I'm here to bring change. That's what World War is about. I'm going against everything.
Nah, that's dope. So that's where the concept of the World War comes from.
Yeah.
I ain't even asked for it.
Yeah, I'm going against the world. Like, I'm not here to make friends and I can't be bought because I don't want your money. I just want my stories told. And in the process, the money get made because that's how it works. But I'm trying to stay focused, and I keep my team around me so that, you feel me, when you doing things by yourself, you can get tricked into doing things you don't really want to do and manipulated. When you keep a group of sturdy people around you, and we all have an opinion that count, it keep us grounded. And if one of us win, we all win.
Yeah.
So nobody loses.
What's your process like writing a movie? Like just what's your process like?
So once I grab the concept of the movie, I'm not anybody could tell you I really don't listen to music, because music got a real influence on us, on everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really like to incorporate other people's thoughts in my head that strong. I like to think freely. I ride around, I listen to music. I'm a heavy thinker. But I do listen to music because I'm black and I grew up on it and I understand the power of it. So like when I'm writing them, say like the love story, it's a real emotional movie, right? So you know how like when something happened in the movie, somebody get killed, and then that sad song come on and make you wanna, right? But you gotta write it to fit it that way to even understand that certain things and tunes and sounds and the exact sound, this is what I need it right. No, I don't want the song, I need it right here, right? So what I do is when I'm writing, I write the music and I develop a playlist. So like I got like all 90s music, Tevin Campbell, like all kind of like love music that's real influential of how I grew up and really touched my heart, right? No Diddy, that was, right? And when I'm writing from a space of love, and you know, I'm locked in. I don't hear nothing wild. And there's nothing that's making me feel like what I'm doing is wrong because I got Luther or somebody singing and they explaining how amazing love is and how beautiful love is, and to be loved by you, and who cares about no man, you know, can make me feel the way you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about nobody else's opinion, love, and then you start to incorporate them thoughts in your thinking, and then you start to write stuff that would normally come off the pen. Like, because your caring stop caring. Like, you just start hearing what's right and what needs to be seen, and then you just start writing, and then it's a version of who you are that's probably so hidden deep that get exposed on the paper when the pen touch it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I be locked in. You could tell, like, in Kingz of DC, like 1 million people died. So, you know, I was listening to some wild stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to Snow Savage. I was listening to Young Boy.
Yeah.
So it was like, gang shit. Oh, somebody got to die. Somebody about to die. Shoot him. He got shot 3 times. Shoot him 2 more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gangs. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Why they want to play with a Reaper? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and the music kind of inspired the pen to do what the pen do. You feel what I'm saying? And people who listen to this music, they can hear it. They can see the movie because we've been already incorporated this mentality and thinking through listening to the music over and over and over. It starts to cultivate our thinking. So like when you see it being acted out, that song is in your head even if you don't hear it playing, because it's a movie or a visual to every understanding of that sound. Yeah. And so when you see it, it looks familiar. Even you don't hear No Savage, you can see it.
Right.
Like, you can see the story taking place. You like, dang, I can relate. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I write like that.
Anything else?
Man, nah, I'm telling you, do the best videos, man. Hopefully I can get another interview right after this movie drops. So
man, no question. And I gotta make the premiere too.
Please make the premiere. Have your camera team there. It's gonna be each time we have a premiere, it gets larger in numbers and larger in numbers. I'm trying to have like 600 people at this.
Yeah, because the kickback jump was crazy. I was, for whatever reason, I wasn't in there. But seeing that jump, and y'all had 2 theaters, I said, oh yeah.
Yeah, 2 theaters. I'm trying to do 4 theaters this time. We're gonna pack it, and then we're gonna have the movies playing simultaneously so that they all let out at the same time. So you're gonna have 600 people come out at one time, and then we're gonna give away some TVs. It's a New Balance movie. We're gonna give away some New Balance. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. It's gonna be food. We're gonna have all the bloggers there. We pretty women. The dudes is on peacetime. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. And there's gonna be a lot of positive in the building. And people gonna leave hopefully knowing that they are part of history and that they can see that somebody that looks just like them, that moves just like them, could do something like this. So you could do it too.
Facts. Shoot, where everybody could reach out to you at, your socials and all that.
First and foremost, World War Polo on Instagram, World War Polo on YouTube. Make sure if y'all get a chance, y'all come DM the DA New Balance Boyz, boys with a Z, and DM, because we got our own New Balance, right?
Yes, sir.
We call them joints the World War Polo ones. They come in silver, they come in black. Get you a pair of them. It's a fair, reasonable price. I'm on all the social sites. I help promote your clothes, your brand, whatever. It's like, I just want us to win in real life, in real time.
Man, yeah, alright, well, we got another one in the books with World War Polo. Another good smacked interview, man. Make sure y'all tune in.
World War Polo Entertainment Group. We out here.
Yeah.